Hello and welcome to the Tavern Chat podcast. I am your host, Eric Tenkar. Today is a Friday night, so with me is my lovely wife, Rachel.
Hello.
Rach and I are going to be doing our usual Friday night feature, which is Gamers Health. So, now last week we talked about pets, because remember, your health isn't just your physical health, and it's not just working out or taking walks or riding a bike and eating healthy. There's more to it than that. And like we said last week, pets can help with your emotional health, but we are in the world of COVID, the worldwide pandemic. No matter where you are, it's quite likely that you are not socializing or even working in the manner that you used to. As Rich and I were discussing right before the podcast, we actually discussed this last night. I do a weekly hangout over on the Tenkar's Tavern Discord server. If you want to join the server, tenkarstavern.com, there's a link on the webpage. And every Thursday night, and I've been doing this now for years, we hang out, and I say we, people from the community. Some I know from in person, some I know from online, and some are just members of the community that I haven't spoken to at all prior, and they pop in and we talk about gaming, geek stuff. We dabble into politics a bit, or at least real world things like COVID. And I liken it a lot to hanging out at a pub. I used to hang out at a pub multiple times a week, go down for lunch because I'm retired. And I don't do that now, right? I mean, Rich, we've gone to the pub maybe a half dozen times in the last 4 months, maybe.
Not sure.
About, we'll say, somewhere in the vicinity, 6 to 8 times, maybe.
I think we were trying to go once a week.
It didn't happen.
It doesn't always work. Yeah.
And we've been, and this because we had outdoor seating. Now it's getting cold. This thing's going to go indoors. And I don't know if I want to necessarily put myself at that.
Are we ready for that? Or, there might be some nights now where it'll be fun to go and be, find the table close to the heater, outside, and stay outside just for a novelty. Make sure you have something hot, something stick to your ribs, but as a cheat night.
Right.
I don't think we're going to do our little salads out there because we'll freeze. We'll be looking for some shepherd's pie or,
But
whatever.
The thing is, we are, as human beings, we are social animals, okay? We live on it. We thrive on it, okay? And yes, you have social media, but social media is not a replacement for interacting. Real honest interaction, which you can do, like I said, when we hang out with the Tavern Chat weekly, we call it Tavern Chat Live, and a dozen or so of us have conversations going, and it reminds me of the conversations that we used to have when I go down for lunch, and you talk with people that you knew, right? And then you talk with people that you see once in a while, and then you'd be talking with people that jumped into your conversation that you don't know from a hole in the wall. But you have to learn and interact, and there's something rewarding about that. And I think in the world of COVID, we're missing out on that. Even work, right? Like, again, Rach.
Yeah. You kind of lose the places where you took a sense of community. So, at work we have our little Wednesday get together, on the lunch break. Which in the office would happen twice a month. And they had to bribe us to go there with food.
There you go. You see?
Now everybody goes on every Wednesday and they look for one another. And, it's there's some administrative stuff that might get talked about. But by and large, it's, people kind of dealing with their anxiety around COVID, their fears about being back in the clinic, their, fears about what is this second wave thing going to bring, and so we try to help each other with that. And, you know, sometimes that comes just through community, you know, just being able to have access to one another. You know, sometimes it's like, you know, even comparing like your binge lists, like, oh, what's good to watch, you know, learning about what other people are looking at. For me, you know, dealing with work and just keeping going and, you know, work and like life and home and stuff, you know, you get disconnected from some of the things that you would normally do in person, like yoga studio, for example, things like that. I was really happy to be able to, you know, hear from a friend from my previous yoga training, you know, asking about, hey, is anybody interested in doing this training? We can get a discount. So, of course, discount.
Bing, bing, bing.
Yeah. I never would have gone for something like this online before COVID. So, you know, I guess to some degree, maybe COVID is opening up more ideas for potential possibilities. You know, such like for me with the yoga training and like learning how to do that over Zoom, and had work not shut down, I never would have looked into Zoom or, you know, Doximity or other ways of connecting to people, you know, to help them and, you know, even just to connect with them and have a sense of community. Something about it to me felt not real, but in this situation where, oh, you know, the clients are still connected. We still are maintaining our community through Zoom or Google Meet, whatever, you know. Being able to have that has been really powerful because, you know, I realize, oh, it is very real. You know, we do look for one another. We do relate in very real ways, like when we, you know, have our discussions and go into our breakout rooms to practice with one another. And, you know, all except for one, all people that are new to me. So, you know, it's building more community for me. So, you know, the whole concept of being connected is, you know, huge. And also, like, you know, looking at how you can follow some of your interests and passions just in a different way. Where I saw it as you do yoga in the studio, you know, have to be in a certain physical place. So that's been shattered. You know, you can do these things remotely and still share that connection.
You know, it's like gaming with a virtual tabletop, right? I mean, we've been doing that for years. And I'll be honest with you, my only steady group over the last, I don't know, 10 years was, you know, using Google Hangouts and, well, initially a predecessor to Roll20 and then Roll20. And why? Well, because we had people from the West Coast and the East Coast and all around able to get together in one virtual mindset, especially when it comes to gaming. Because whether you are somebody who does theater of the mind, and I'm mostly theater of the mind as a GM, and I prefer it as a player, and generally that means with Roll20, I'm using the virtual tabletop with Fog of War, so I'm revealing what the players are going through. I don't use tokens. And they can use real dice or virtual dice as they see fit. I generally use the virtual just to be honest with my dice rolls. And, you know, we use voice. And I think that is part of the secret there, too. Listen, your conversations that you have on Facebook and Twitter and, quote, these friendships that are, you know, you're sharing. If you're having a conversation that's one-on-one via private messaging, you know what? Okay, it's probably an individual that is on a friend level with you. But if you just shout into the world, no, that's not. And I'm not saying it's not intimate. It certainly isn't intimate, but it's certainly not a connection. Okay, something like this. We're talking with you, to you, right? You can call back, leave a voicemail. You can leave an email. We can interact. But if we did something like this as a live cast and we were talking about it, which actually maybe we'll do, maybe do a New Year's special around New Year's. We'll
New Year's resolution thing.
Yeah, it could be. And we will do this as a live cast on YouTube and Facebook, and you can make live comments and ask us questions. Because, listen, we're not medical professionals. I'm not going to give you health advice, but I can certainly give you life experience advice from somebody who's gone through congestive heart failure, right? And type 2 diabetic who certainly wasn't keeping a good diet for a type 2 diabetic, and now I'm doing much better with that. Rach is a social worker. So she can make suggestions. And also she's, she's turning into a yogi. So there are exercises, and there are stuff that are mental exercises that Rach and I were discussing beforehand. There are meditations that you can find on YouTube that will help you clear your mind. Put your mind in a better place. Because you know what? Something that we don't talk about, and I say we as a society aren't really talking about, but every once in a while you'll turn on the news or you'll read an article online, and you read things like suicide amongst teenagers and young adults is spiking.
Aww. Yeah.
And why would something like that be? Well, it's because they're not getting that connection, right? Or the only connection they're getting is through Facebook and Instagram, which isn't intimate, but it's certainly volatile, right? You either love what somebody, you like what they wrote, or you hate it, and it's not interpersonal, although it can certainly be taken very personally. So yes, interaction is certainly a key to your mental health. We are not islands.
Right.
And you're gamers. If you listen to this, you're a gamer, right? You're used to gaming with people. Most of you are used to gaming at a physical table. You're used to going to conventions. I know I am. Going to game stores. Now, almost all my shopping is done via Amazon. Amazon is certainly doing well during the pandemic. But...
and the guy who delivers the stuff is on a first name basis with us.
Oh, well, my UPS driver, he's been on a first name. I used to go to my neighborhood pub. He'd come in, deliver a package there, and go, "Hey, Eric." Oh, he also knew my bartender too. My first name, John, but
Right, because it's blocks away.
But that's community. That is still a community, and that is what's needed. So I'm going to really stress something to you all. If you are feeling disconnected, okay, join the Tenkar's Tavern Discord server and come into one of our Thursday night chats at 9 p.m. Eastern every Thursday night. You don't have to talk. You don't have to. Mute your mic. Listen in. And if you have something you want to say, pipe in. You can't hurt feelings in that room. Have we had arguments? Certainly. And then when all is said and done, everybody starts fresh. Because you need a connection. You need that interaction with other people. And I really do think it's important. And like I said, if you're a person, and I can understand it, by the way, I'm a person, secret, and Rach can vouch for this. I hate making cold calls. Yes, I'm a fucking podcaster, right? I'm talking to you. I don't think I'm doing a cold call every fucking day, right? But I hate getting on that phone and even calling a doctor's office to make an appointment because there's anxiety attached to it. So I can understand the anxiety attached to going to a voice chat room with a bunch of strangers. But you know what? If you were at a convention and you sat down at a table with us, we'd all be talking, right? It's the same thing. And you talk as much as you want. And if you don't want to talk, you don't talk. But
lurk and listen maybe the first time. See if it's how you identify, with other people that are in there. You know?
All are welcome. All are welcome. Because we need each other. We really do. You can call the show. You can leave a voicemail if you just want to talk. You don't want it shared. Just say, "Hey, Eric and Rach, yeah, I want to share this with you, but I don't want to share it." You can do that, or you can send me an email, tenkars.tavern@gmail.com. Okay. If you're a gamer that's feeling a little stressed, at the very least, I can listen. All right. Again, this is a community that is used to socializing face to face, and because of restrictions put into place across the world, there's a lot less of that going on. So you got to find good substitutes. Like if you're a type 2 diabetic and you realize that you can't be binging on candy, right? But you still have that sweet tooth. You got to find substitutes that are fulfilling. That might not be as wondrous and wonderful as the almond joy that we used to having. Ugh. All right, the Reese's Pieces or the Reese's Peanut Butter Cup. We find a good substitute for that. Yeah. All right. You say, all right. So I got to find my almond joy substitute that doesn't break my sugar numbers. But in any case, folks, we're here for you if you just need somebody to listen. And if you just want to listen, we're always here for you. So, and if you need to do a little research on meditations, just go to YouTube. What would it search be? Meditations or?
If it's they have so many different meditations on YouTube. It's fun. For a beginner, you might try this one. This one's really a lot of humor. It's called "Fuck That," and it comes on.
Wait, is it "Fuck That" meditation?
Yes.
Okay, "Fuck That" meditation.
And it's usually the first one that comes up. Click on that. It's got like a picture of the sea. You'll enjoy that. It just kind of helps you shake off all the haters and all the bullshit that we go through daily. By just focusing on your breath and being in the moment and realizing that all the bullshit is really impermanent. So we don't have to get excited and respond and make ourselves miserable around that. So yeah, that's a really fun one that I love. Let's see. But yeah, if you have some anxiety related to COVID, there are a lot of COVID anxiety busters for that on YouTube. There's so much.
There's no shame to having anxiety about COVID. All right, and anybody who says, "Oh, they don't care," you know what? They're probably bullshitting you.
Whether it's anxiety about what the consequences are of closures, whether it's the anxiety that we feel about, oh my God, what's going on with this second wave,
health worries.
Worries about the spread and worries about vaccines. There's a lot of worries that we have because there's so many unknowns.
Money worries. Some of you have your employment hours lessened or are no longer employed, or maybe you had a secondary job that was part-time that's no longer there. It affects people. And that affects your anxiety levels affect a lot more than just your mental health. It affects your physical health. It's a snowball. So please, if you need somebody to listen, leave us a voicemail and
let us know how you like "Fuck That" meditation.
Well, yeah, and I'm sure that a couple of listeners are going to go, "Holy shit!"
You're gonna laugh. You're gonna be like, "Oh, it's just some asshole," But no, it's like, the real tenets of meditation are in there, just done in a not usual way.
There you go.
So,
and like I say, you can either use the Anchor app to leave a message. You're limited to a minute, or you can call our Google number, which is 347-509-5167. 877-688. And then you're limited to 2 minutes. Woohoo. But like I said, if you don't want it on the air, just say, and we'll listen. And we listen to everything that comes into the show. Folks, since we've been talking about COVID, and again, we're not medical experts, we're not medical professionals. Use your common sense to keep yourself, your loved ones, your family, your friends healthy and safe. Take medical advice if you need it, obviously. And be safe, be well. God bless. A lot of us haven't gone to church in a while because of COVID, so I'm going to throw God bless out to all of you. Be healthy, roll those dice, and God willing. And here I'm gonna knock on something that resembles wood. Didn't sound like wood though. Jeez.
No,
sounds like metal. But all right, here that's proper wood. The
windowsill.
Yes, folks. Thank you very much for listening. We're thinking about you. Mañana, God willing.